Hey Boo Crew! I'm Matt Monster High and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my podcast, Tiny Bags, Big Opinions, because yes, we love collecting dolls, but we also have big opinions. So if you like to talk about dolls, but you also love a little drama, this is the right place for you, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you feel like it. And I want to invite you to go ahead and interact with me and comment during the podcast. I will go through every single comment and respond and interact and engage with you guys as well, because obviously I have big opinions, but I want to know yours as well. And if you follow me on YouTube and you don't follow me anywhere else, all of my socials are at Matt Monster High, super easy to find me. And wow, we have a lot to unpack. I'm so excited to start this new project. This is only episode 1. You guys have been so supportive, and I know it takes a lot for you to also go ahead and watch, I don't know, like a 20, 30, an hour long video. Don't even know how long this is going to be, but it's still long form. So I really appreciate your support. I know you're taking time of your day, or you're actually doing dishes and laundry or running errands, and you have me in your ears and you're listening to this. I love you and thank you so much for being here. And if you're new here, my name again is Matt Monster High. I am a doll collector, mostly Monster High. I do have a Bratz collection, a little Barbie collection, but overall my biggest passion is Monster High. So I love to talk about them. I do unboxing videos, hair videos, a little bit of everything. I love Monster High. But I also have a Bratz page. It's Matt's Bratz if you want to follow. I don't post there as much, but it's just to show my little love for Bratz as well. And I just want to give you a little planning of what we're going to be covering here today. First, I'm going to tell a little bit about my story and how I got into dolls and got into collecting dolls pretty much, because I've always been into dolls my whole life since I was a kid, obviously. Even though I wasn't encouraged to, I was always like, yeah, give me them dollies. But now that I'm an adult and I have adult money, I decided to start a doll collection. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how everything happened so you can get to know me. But I also want to talk about some drama. The drama I want to talk about here today is about some collectors who think they are better than other collectors just because they have certain dolls. And again, this is all because of the Grady Twins Monster High collector dolls that just came out last week. We know a lot of people had a lot of opinions, and so did I. But again, I'd like to think myself as like I'm on the right side of things and not the wrong side of things, but I'm biased because that's my opinion. And yeah, so we're definitely going to touch on that. But also some of y'all sent me questions in my Instagram, so I definitely want to answer to them here, give you a shout out, and so excited. So first, let's start with me. Let's talk about Matt Monster High. Who's Matt Monster High? How did you end up here? Why are you here? And why am I watching you right now? Great question. I've always loved dolls since I was a kid. And, I grew up in a very conservative family, even though my mom was always very like on my side, and she would just let me explore my identity and be who I wanted to be, which, Mom, I love you. You are literally the reason why I'm here right now, right? Obviously. But so long story short, I've always liked dolls and playing with girls since I was very young. And, I was so lucky that the school that I went to, like, the parents of my girlfriends that I went to school with, like in elementary school, middle school, like they were very cool with me going in their house and like playing dolls with my friends, which was really helpful growing up because I wasn't allowed to have dolls of my own. And my grandparents were those people, the kind of people that were like, well, you go play with the boys. And if the girls have anything that's like too girly in their hands, like dolls or whatever it is, like you're not allowed to play with them. You're not allowed to go near them. Like you're going to go play with the boys. How's that working out for me? I don't know. But my mom was always like, okay, don't tell your grandparents. Like my mom was a single mom. She had me when she was like 19. So I grew up with my mom and my grandparents. That was my household. So my mom was like my older sister in a sense. And she would just like, okay, yeah, let's lie to your grandparents. Let's tell them like you're playing at, I don't know, Gabriel's house. And no, I was at Yasmin's house playing dolls, or Victoria's house playing dolls. But I would come home and be like, how was it? Yeah, it was great. Like, and that was never an issue. I just want to say that. It was like, how did your grandparents not find out? Well, they were not really close with my friend's parents. My mom was in charge of that. Like my mom was very present. Like when it comes to like school stuff, she would always go to like my grandparents were too, but like my mom was both my mom and my dad in a sense, where she was the one who was like, okay, taking care of me, even though like we're living with my grandparents. Why does it matter? I don't know. I just want to clarify that because we were like, okay, you're not fooling anyone. No, but we did. We played a number on them. We did. But anyway, so long story short, I lived my best life, played with Barbies and Bratz growing up. That's what my friends used to have in my scene. Oh my God, my scene. Don't even get me started. I only don't have more Mycene dolls because they're so expensive, but I have a little like Mycene collections. I love Mycene. Anyways, so when my mom got married, she bought me 2 dolls, right? Like, so growing up, if you ask me, because I know I get that question a lot, like, do you have any dolls growing up? Like, yes, I had 2 dolls, and I'm gonna put a picture of them here. I don't have them anymore, obviously, but when I was a kid, obviously, I had Hermione from Harry Potter. She was a Mattel doll, and from the Sorcerer's Stone. And I remember her hair. I can still smell her. She smelled like coconutty, unless I'm like really delusional right now. But she had like a really good scent. And then I also had Gabriella from High School Musical, and she sang one of the songs. When There Was Me and You. I used to love that doll. Anyways, those were the 2 dolls that I had. And then I had a bunch of boy dolls from like High School Musical. I had all the boy characters, or like Harry Potter, or like things that I liked as a kid. Yeah, I had dolls that were like boy dolls, but then I had 2 girl dolls. But other than that, my mom will let me go to my girlfriend's houses, and then I'll just like play dolls all day long. It was the best time. So that's my story with dolls. So growing up, yeah, Monster High was after my time. I'd like to think that I went to high school with Monster High, because I was in high school the same time that Monster High came out. Well, I was in 9th grade going to high school when Monster High came out. You do the math. I'm a little older than probably some of you. I'm in my late 20s, but so yeah, so Monster High, even though I could have played with dolls still, like, you know, you're in high school and you're like supposed to like things that are more like grown up, and you're supposed to act like a grown up, like you want to, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so over toys and so over toys. Well, look at me now in my late 20s. What am I talking about? But you know, like when you're that like high school mentality, you're like, this is it. I'm an adult, so. But I vividly remember Monster High because my brother is 10 years younger than me, and I would catch him watching Monster High here and there. And my little cousins used to have like Monster High dolls, and I'd be like, those dolls are really fierce. I used to think like she had like the Claudine new Scaremaster with like the bob and the green hair, and she had Honey Swamp and like Elizabeth, and I'm like, okay, those dolls are fierce, because I've always loved like horror movies since I was a kid. That's another thing too. Like one of the reasons why I love Monster High so much is because I'm a horror freak. I have like a ghost face tattoo on my arm. Like my mom used to watch horror movies with me. My mom is a big horror movie fan, so like I feel like Monster High was the perfect franchise for me. But anyways, getting ahead of myself. So Monster High came after, right? So like growing up, I grew up with Barbie and Bratz and Mycene. That was like the main 3, I would say. Like, of course, were like My Little Pony, Polly Pocket, things like that. But like, I didn't really care about them. It was more like a Barbie. I was like, Barbie was my thing. But anyway, so became an adult, like never really cared about dolls after that. Like always looked at dolls and thought like, oh my gosh, great. Never thought about collecting dolls. But and I know some of the questions that you guys sent me are related to what I'm going to tell, but I'll get back to it anyways. But back in 2020 or 2021, when Cruella the movie came out with Emma Stone, I was so obsessed because I love Cruella de Vil and I love Emma Stone. So I bought that 17-inch Disney Cruella de Vil doll, and then I bought some other Cruella de Vil dolls, the Glenn Close from 101 Dalmatians 1 and 2. Those dolls are beautiful. And then I bought some other Disney dolls. So I started pretty much with Disney dolls, right? Buying my favorite villains and princesses and whatnot. And then when Barbie the movie came out, I became this whole like monster. I was like, I'm just going to buy one to heal my inner child. I'm going to get the Margot Robbie Western Barbie. I found her at Target then, and I bought her, and I was so happy. I was literally the happiest person. And then I bought another one, then another one. So my actual collecting journey started with Barbie the movie. Like when I was like, went nuts, lost my mind, buying dolls aplenty. It was then. And then that same year for my birthday, my friends Betty and Mars gave me a Draculaura doll for my birthday because they were like, you love pink and you love all things Barbie and pink and you love horror movies, and I think you're gonna love this Monster High doll. So it was actually the Generation 3 Core 1 Draculaura, and I was like a kid, you know. I vividly remember like jumping around like, oh my God, I can't believe you got me a doll. Like nobody ever got me dolls for my birthday or anything, like, you know, so that was so special that they were like, here's a doll. And I loved it. And I will never forget that. And thank you, Betty and Mars. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be collecting Monster High dolls. But then I got Draculaura, and Draculaura was a dream come true. Again, I love vampires and horror movies and things like that. And she was pink, which is my favorite color. So I was like obsessed. And then after that, I got into Monster High Generation 3. That was like, I was like, and I'm only going to collect Generation 3. I don't care about Generation 1 until, you know, then I got into Generation 1, and then I became obsessed with Monster High as a whole. I binge watched every movie. I watched all of the webisodes. There's like 8+ hours on YouTube of like webisodes of the Generation 1. I watched all of them. The Generation 3 series, the live action movies, everything. I was obsessed. That was my hyper fixation. And then I was like, okay, this is probably going to go away at one point, and it didn't. I was like, okay, and then I became at Monster High. So I started a page. I was like, you know what? This is so niche, but I didn't even know, okay? There was going to be like a whole community of like people anyways. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start a page, and I'm going to call it Met Monster High. And I'm going to post like my Monster High collection and doing their hairs and stuff. Cause I was like, I don't feel like posting this on my personal page. And like, I don't even like, people don't even care. So even if I have like 0 views, 0 likes, no nothing, I'm just going to start like a safe space where I can post my dolls. And that's how it started. And then it became part of me and a part of my life. And now it's like 50% of my life is this. Like 50% is like my family and my work, and the other 50 is my dolls and my Instagram. Like, so it's really, really interesting how it came to be, because I was not expecting it to become what it is. And the fact that I am right now here in front of this mic talking to you guys about my Monster High collection, and the fact that like 10, 20, 50, 100 of you care, that means so much to me. And because I wouldn't have had the space to do so, because people judge adults that like toys, and especially a grown-ass man that likes dolls. Sorry, I may or may not curse here and there. You know me, so I literally just said like grown-ass. Anyways, but yeah, so now I'm here and I love Monster High, and that's a big part of who I am. And I would not have thought that in a million years, and I'm so happy. I feel like Monster High is the embodiment of who I am as a person, and that's why I'm so passionate. And that's why I bring topics that are not even like doll related, but they kind of are, because that's what Monster High is, right? Monster High is about inclusivity, diversity, and being yourself and expressing yourself and being unique. Be yourself, be unique, be a monster. And the fact that there are bigots that like Monster High kind of blows my mind, because it's like, this is the wrong franchise for you. Like, you are literally some of the most hypocritical people I have ever heard of, because you fight against everything Monster High stands for. Like, make that make sense. Like, you're out there, not to be political, but you're out there voting for anti-trans laws, for anti-LGBTQ, like anti-gay marriage, like same-sex marriage. You were mocking Black Lives Matter. You were like literally supporting everything Monster High is not. So why in your right mind, so what makes you think that it's okay for you to love Monster High? I mean, it is, and I wish you were enjoying Monster High for the right reasons, but like, in my opinion, and who am I, you shouldn't even be able to enjoy Monster High if you're a bigot, because Monster High, literally, that's its core message. Like, have you learned nothing? So that's my take. Anyway, so that's a little bit of my story, and going for a little water break. And next, we're going to be talking about the Grady twins and how I feel about collectors that think they're better than others. Oop, there, I said it. I'll be right back. And we're back. So let's talk about the Grady Twins and how I feel about collectors that think that they're better than everybody else just because of the dolls that they own. Well, when the Grady Twins came out, it was a whole conversation because let me tell you something. I recently bought Pennywise for scalper prices. Not proud of that. And actually, I will say that I'm really happy I did because that taught me a lesson. And I feel like people who give in and actually buy from scalpers need to learn a lesson, myself included. Again, I call people out, honey, but I call myself out as well because I'm not exempt from being wrong. I make mistakes all the time. And one of my mistakes is actually buying dolls for scalper prices. Because the more we do that, the more they're gonna scalp us. Especially because I feel like who decided that a doll is $2,000, $1,000? Like, you know, maybe one time somebody made a listing and then somebody else saw it and they were like, oh, they were selling that doll for like, yeah, they're selling that doll for that much, but she's not worth that much. Why are you paying that much? That's why they keep charging those prices, because people like me go ahead and like, oh, whatever, I want that doll so much, I'm gonna do it. No, don't do it. Like, because again, the Grady Twins came back and people were selling them for $2,000 ish, $1,400, like, and now they're back. So you know what? And let me tell you something. I do sure hope they bring back Pennywise, because then I will definitely learn my lesson. Wait, you never know when they're gonna drop a doll again. We never know, but putting out there. But people who actually had that doll, the Grady Twins, actually those dolls, and had them since when they came out or they paid scalper prices, they were really mad that Mattel decided to drop those dolls again. That's not Mattel's responsibility, and nobody else in the community has to pay the price just because you chose to buy that doll for that price. Myself included. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they drop Pennywise, girl, I'll buy a second one and I'll open her. Because like some dolls I do buy multiples if I want to keep one in box, one out of box. I don't do that for every doll, but if it's a doll I really love, I'm like, I would love to keep one in box, one out of box. That's the only time when I'll buy like multiples of the same doll. No judgment though. But so there are a couple collectors. I'm not gonna name drop. I'm not here to yes, I am. But I'm not here to like call anybody like specifically out. I don't want to call out names. I'm not like, nope, no, thank you. But if you know, you know. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about, and I don't need to name names. But there's a collector who thinks that I'm going to use gender neutral terms because I don't want to give any hints. I don't want any more like, anyways. They think they're better than everybody else because they have some really expensive Monster High dolls. They have some grails. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair that you're like wanting everybody else to pay the price because you have a doll that like, sorry, you want to be so exclusive. That's not like, first of all, get out of the community. Community is when multiple people with the same interest and passion or whatever, like join in and become a family. If you don't want to be part of this family, get out and delete your Instagram and go enjoy your dolls in anonymity. Like, don't try to make this about you. It's not about you. It's about the community. And why would I not want my friends and my community to experience the same love that I experience with my dolls? I want you to have fun. I want you to love your dolls. I want you to be happy the same way that I'm happy. I'm not going to gatekeep my community from having a doll because you having a doll that I don't have doesn't make me any less, and vice versa. The same way that me having a rare doll and you not having it does not make you less than. When did dolls become a symbol of luxury and status? Like, no, these are plastic women, plastic creatures, plastic, like, these are you out of your mind. You are not better than anyone just because you have rare dolls or very exclusive dolls. I'm sorry, Mattel doesn't care. They're going to keep releasing dolls as much as they can. And I wish they had more of like a bot protection so scalpers wouldn't buy all these dolls, but they're making these dolls. They want that money. Like, girl, you are not special. I'm sorry. Maybe when you started like posting your dolls, you thought nobody else could have them. And now you think that just because some people do have the dolls that you have, now they're a threat. Like, come on. If you're going to be like that, just leave the community because that's a disservice in my opinion. Whew. I cannot stand people like that. Now I'm going to use the Grady Twins as an example because they're like, well, the box says second release and the quality is not the same and they look so ugly. Like, no, bitch, they look the same. There you go. See, sometimes I can't even like stop myself from cursing. Bitch, they look the same. They look the same. Sorry, they're the same dolls. Now you're gaslighting yourself and trying to gaslight multiple people that the original ones are superior just because you feel superior that you have the first batch. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. They are the same dolls. It's just a second release. Like, and also, that's not going to change the fact that you have the original ones. If it's that what you want to hear. You have the very first ones. You were there, girl. Like, wow, you want a cookie? Like, you were there before everybody else. Nobody. Okay, great. Can we move on now? Like, are you happy? Is that what you wanted to hear? Like, you're so special because you have the Grady twins from the first drop. Like, wow, you win. You win at life. Wow, if that's winning in life, girl, you made it so easy. You made it so easy. I was going to come here and I was not going to play games. I'm not playing any games. I'm not playing any games. So that's where I stand. I do think that there is no place in the community for people who think they're better than other people because they have certain dolls. Because let's be honest, sometimes people don't even want that doll. Like the Grady twins, they are so niche. Like if you feel like you're so special because you have the first release, not everyone care about those dolls. So no, you're not better than anyone. Like you're not winning here. Like, you know, take down a notch. Take down a notch. Now I'm going to go take a little break and we're going to respond to some of your questions. And I'm so excited. And we're so back. Now I'm going to answer to all your questions that you sent me in the Q&A on my Instagram page. Also, obviously, thank you so much for sending the questions. You guys are so amazing for even doing this. So thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Crimson Ghost King, my bestie. What was your biggest inspiration for the podcast? Thank you for the question. I think it was just my passion for topics like the ones I've been discussing, you know, because I already do that on my Instagram literally every day. So I was like, you know what? That would be cool to have a space on my YouTube channel where I could just do that and have people go tune in. And this is also a conversation I've been having with one of my friends, Val, for the longest time. I was like, girl, imagine if I had a podcast where I would just like say everything that I'm thinking and like, you know, I went to the Disney Channel building and I sat down with the president of the Disney Channel and I was like, I want to make history. And that's what this is. Babagachi, baby. Congrats, baby Peitas. Now, which Monster High character is overrated and why? People are going to come for me. One thing comes to mind, and hey, she is one of my favorites. She's in my top 3, okay? But Draculaura. We gotta give Draculaura a break. Generation 3, please. She doesn't have to be in every line. She does. There, I said it. I love Draculaura. She's the reason why I'm here, like I told you guys earlier today. But she gotta go. We gotta pack it up, Draculaura. We gotta give other ghouls a chance. And the reason why I think she's overrated, it's because her as a character, you know, her aesthetic is great. I love Dracula and I love her in the show and everything too, but like she's kind of insufferable. And I say that as someone who stands the heck out of Draculaura, but we gotta be honest, she's insufferable. Love her, but she has the main character syndrome and she's like me. And I love Draculaura. I love her. But I acknowledge that she's a little bit of a pain. But yeah, I think she's overrated, but I still love her. And she's still one of my favorites. And again, I'm part of the problem. She's overrated. Connie, bestie. Hi, bestie. My question, what is your take on the Ever After High dolls and Monster High? Well, Monster High, needless to say, love Monster High, my whole personality. Now, Ever After High, never really got into it. I have a couple of dolls. I like Raven. And I have Cupid, and that's it. But I like Raven because she's the daughter of the evil queen. But yeah. Scare Source, another one of my besties. Thanks for asking. What was your thought process behind constructing this? So, again, like I said before, it was more so having a place where I could channel all of my emotions and all of my takes per se, because I know it's a lot. And I know people say all the time like, hey Matt, aren't you exhausted? Like this seems like it's a lot. Honey, it's a lot, but I'm here for it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do something that's authentic, that's me, that's something I'll be able to commit because I want to do it so bad because I'm so passionate about talking about these topics and stuff. So I was like, I have the motivation for it. So let's go. That was my thought process. Princess Buttercup, if you could make any doll, what would you make? This school needs a tea. If I could make any doll, it would be a Scream, Ghostface, and Sydney, or all the characters as Collector, like a series. I want all of them. I want Gale Weathers, I want Tatum, I want Sydney. At least the girls, the boys. I would love Dewey, Billy, and Stu, but like the girls and Ghostface, give me that. Even Emma Roberts, the Queen of Dolls herself, as like her character Jill, like as a Monster High doll. Period. Jay Solano, I already love you. What is the worst take you've ever heard from a doll collector? Also, hello everyone. I kind of went into it earlier, but I think the worst take is I miss when dolls were so hard to get. Now it's so easy to get these dolls. Like, I miss when they were so exclusive and when nobody else could get them. Well, girl, come on. No. That's literally Lambs for Slaughter vibes. Like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, in my opinion, that's the worst or one of the worst. Emmanuel, what is your favorite collector doll? I think as of right now, my favorite collector doll, and again, it's not one that I post all the time or talk about it all the time, but it's RuPaul. I love Ru so much, and I know it's super niche, but Ru. I love Ru. Aldair Rodriguez. Doll you take to your grave? A doll I would take to my grave. Haunt Couture Draculaura for spiritual reasons. That's another story I'll tell you guys later, but Sina, have you ever had a Bratz doll? I have never seen them on your videos, so I'm curious. Yes, I have a whole Bratz collection. I don't post them on my Monster High page because I have a specific Bratz page. It's Mats with a Z, Bratz. And it's on Instagram. You can go check it out, but I post them. I don't post there a ton because my Monster High page takes so much out of me, but here and there I post on my Bratz page. I love my Bratz, and it's not something I'm buying like literally every day. Well, technically sometimes, but yeah, I have a huge Bratz collection as well. Lulu Stars, hey, who do you wish to see more dolls of, and what type of line do you want to see the doll in? I think Spectra and Ghoulia. I'm in love with the fact that they brought Ghoulia back for the new Buried Secrets Monster High Generation 3 dolls, but give me more Ghoulias. I love Ghoulia so much. And Spectra in Generation 3 is so cunty. Like, we need more. Tofu in a box. I love you. What are some of the most bizarre dolls that you have seen or heard? Don't come for me in the comments, but the Bratzillas. I don't really like the Bratzillas dolls. Iris XO. Hey, Iris XO. Hey! First doll in your collection, it was my Emma Stone Disney 17-inch doll, which was the very first doll I ever purchased. Bunny Blanc Rabbit. Oh, hi, boo. What's your fave Monster High line in Generation 1? My number one favorite line is Real Drama. I just love the black and white aesthetic. I love every time Monster High does like a doll that's black and white, I eat it up like breakfast. Like, I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. Siggy Wets, hey, what's up? How come you're a doll collector page, yet you get random hate and political views? I hope you're doing well. Well, I'm doing okay. I would say I'm doing fine. I think it's because I bring it up. It's my fault. Like, I talk about topics that are not just necessarily just the surface, just the dolls. I bring up the toxic, sides of the community here and there, and like, inevitably I attract those people. So yeah, I would say that's my fault. Thanks for asking though. My Scene Legacy, y'all, you gotta go follow My Scene Legacy. They're coming out with something really, really cool. How about a My Scene X Monster High? I would die. I would love that. In fact, if people don't know, those are the base dolls that they used for the prototypes of Monster High. It was My Scene, so I would love that. Also, I love your custom Frankie My Scene doll. Beautiful. Jan's dolls. Oh my god, I love you. I love you. What is your biggest doll related drama of the year 2025? I think it's the one I brought up today. The fact that some collectors are insane and they think that they're better than everybody else just because they have certain dolls. They don't want anybody else to have those dolls, and I'm like, chill. Like, we can all have those dolls and enjoy them. Come on. The Chaotic Daisy Monster High G1 is the superior gen, but I'm loving G3. I just wish we got more Q G2 dolls. Love Generation 1, love Generation 3. I don't like Generation 2. The only G2 doll I have is Lady Gaga, Zombie Gaga, because she even looks like, in my opinion, she looks like a Generation 1 doll. But yeah, I don't like Generation 2, unfortunately. Monster High UK has 3 questions in one. Any storage ideas for collecting dolls? I'm running out of space. Shelves. Bookshelves. Stack them up. That's how you do it. And then, what is the first doll you ever bought? It was the Emma Stone Cruella Disney 17-inch doll. And which doll in your collection is most special to you and why? It's Haute Couture Draculaura, and I'll tell the story in another video, but like some spiritual reasons, but Haute Couture Draculaura. Navy Blue Rat. I'd love to hear literally anything about backstories of dolls, meanings and designs, lore, etc. I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to that. Like, that's something I would have to do like my research to talk on. But a doll I love that I know they put in so much thought and so much intention into was the Corazon Mariquit, the Filipino doll that they brought this year for Mattel Creations Revealed. One of my friends, his from the Philippines, and he was breaking down every piece of the outfit, and everything is intentional, and I absolutely love. I ate it up. ZUG_H. Thank you for your question, by the way, as well. Do you ever think of repainting a doll? I've tried that myself. I draw, like I'm not like the best artist, but I draw. But like customizing dolls was not for me. It's so hard. It takes a lot of time and practice and skill, and I don't have the time. But it was pretty cool, but not for me. I love and I appreciate everyone who does that. God bless you. Anika. How do you deal with negative people here? You always seem to handle it well, but does it ever affect you? Amazing question. It did. It used to affect me to the point that one time I got rid of my page for like 3 months. If anyone that's watching this has been here since I started, you remember I took a hiatus one time because I couldn't handle it. I was like, this is going to be the end of me. That's too much. But then I came back stronger, and here I am doing a podcast where people are going to come for me, and I have to be okay with that because I'm choosing to express my feelings and my thoughts. So I have to be open to criticism, even though like if I think their criticism does not fit, I'm like, I'll fight you. But if not, I'll take criticism. What are your top 10 favorite Monster High and Bratz dolls sent by Ike FHA Faye? Hey. I can't really name 10 out of my head, but I will tell you my favorite characters, okay? So my favorite characters, which most likely I will love the dolls because I love them. But Bratz, the whole... let's go by lines instead of characters, right? Because you asked me my favorite dolls. So... the lines have multiple dolls, so I think that's actually gonna answer your question. But for Bratz, Rock Angels, Pretty and Punk, that's over 10 right there. But Rock Angels, Pretty and Punk, Wintertime Wonderland, even though I don't have any of them. And then for Monster High, Generation 1, we have Real Drama, we have Sweet Screams. I can't believe I was going to forget them, but School's Out. I recently complete the line, and that's one of my favorite lines. So there you go. That's more than 10. But who killed Dan? If you could own your own version of any Monster High outfit, which would it be and why? Any of the outfits I would love to have like in real life, but I think like the Freak du Chic, Sweet Screams, like these very like big fancy outfits, like I don't know, I would love that. Like let's say it's so hard, Twyla Sweet Screams, just because it's fresh in my mind. To have that in real life on a mannequin or something, gorgeous. Garden of Ethan, hey boo, oh my god, I love you so much. What is your opinion on collectors who buy 2 to 4 of the same doll to keep, not sell? I think if you're buying them to keep, I can live with that. Like, I used to be one of those people that, like, why do you need multiples of the same doll? Like, some people can't even get one. But it's like, bro, you have the money, you have the means, and you want to do whatever makes you happy. I'm not going to be the doll police. But if you're selling them, then we have a problem. There is a doll collector that is also a scalper. And I'm like, why? Like, it's so obvious. But if you're just buying them like because you like the doll, I don't see why not. Like, some dolls I do buy too, like one to leave in box, one to leave out of box. Like, I have RuPaul. Like I told you guys, I love RuPaul. I have one in box, one out of box. Twyla Sweet Screams. Twyla is my baby. And like, that was the very first collector Twyla doll ever. So I was like, I need one to keep in box, one to take out of box. Yeah, I think those are the only like collector dolls that I have two of. If I'm being, Wednesday, I have 2 Wednesdays because I have the fashion pack, so I needed a second Wednesday doll to, yeah. Yeah, usually I don't buy multiples of the same doll. The Mean Girls Brats, I have 2 of each. Yeah. So yeah, not against it if you're not selling it. And last but not least, oh my gosh, I love you so much. And Arctic, my bestie, asked me, what are you hoping to see with the new Moonspell High dolls that are coming out? I have heard very little about them. I think it's a great idea. They're going to be, I think, like astrological, like moon, sun type of characters. So I think that's very interesting, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be like, because that's something new and fresh. So really excited. I don't have a ton of hopes, but who knows? Anyways, this is it. I think we covered a lot. This is the first episode of many. So the episodes are going to be out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in every Wednesday here on my channel if you want to talk about those, controversy, all of the above. Anyways, so happy to have you here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I would love to hear more ideas of what you guys want to see next, where this is going to take all of us. And if you guys want me to bring guests, special guests to my podcast, maybe we can figure that out eventually. Many opportunities. I'm so open to everything. And I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments again. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye.